What's up guys? After an action-packed 2 days in Austin, Texas at the running event, I'm finally back home in Charlotte, North Carolina at the desk here. Off the top, I want to say thank you to all the amazing people that I met at the running event. All the brands were super gracious, super nice to me. My pregnant wife, Charlie, who was on her feet for 10 to 12 hours yesterday getting all the content.
How you doing?
Hydrating.
How has it been being on your feet all day?
Awesome. Tiring.
New Balance 990 V6 review.
Very comfortable, very stable.
Pregnancy review.
Very pregnant.
Alright guys, so in this video, I want to dive into all of the highlights from TRE. So going through some of the top shoes from each brand. In yesterday's video, I went through all the questions that you wanted me to ask the brands. So today, I'm gonna go through some of my favorite shoes, the best shoes that I saw from these brands, and hitting on some of the major pieces. Also, massive shout out to Reebok before we dive into it. They were doing a giveaway of their new shoe, the Reebok Float Zig. So my guy there, Anthony from Reebok, said they're looking to make a big splash back in performance running in 2024, so they had a decently sized presence down there at TRE, and they were giving away these Float Zigs to everyone who filled out a card with their running hack.
Run hack to share.
Eat carbs. Anyway, this looks like a really competitive daily trainer from Reebok. They're looking to make a splash back. They said this is going to be one of their biggest brand investments in 2024, even bigger than their push back into basketball with AI and Shaq. So this guy here is a sub 10 ounce daily trainer. I think the specs were around 31, 32 in the heel and 25 in the forefoot. So that classic low 30 to mid 30 millimeter stack. And this foam here, if you look up close, it looks like that Saucony Triumph Power Run Plus foam. It's some sort of a beaded compound. I believe it's a beaded TPU like that Saucony Triumph. I have to confirm for you guys, but to the push test and initial step-in feel, it does feel like that Saucony Triumph, and it's got a nice rubber outsole here. I'll be doing a full breakdown of the shoe once I get it on foot, but off the top, thank you to Reebok for this giveaway. Now, before we get into it, if you're a PR person from one of these brands and you see something here that I wasn't supposed to show yet, please email me at yoanna.subwell.io. I am a very small hobby jogger YouTube channel, so I was not connected with all the right PR people beforehand. So if I didn't get an embargo date, please email me before copyright striking my channel. I don't want to make any enemies. I'll do whatever you say if we're not supposed to get this up, so let me know. All right guys, let's get into it. So I'm gonna go in alphabetical order here. Top of the list, first thing I'm excited about is the Adizero SL2 from Adidas.
Zero SL2.
Quite a big departure from the previous SL.
Yeah.
Because this is going to be a use of Lightstrike 2.0.
Softer with that 2.0.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but still just as durable, just as resilient. First iteration, it had like a puck of Lightstrike Pro in the forefoot.
Yeah.
This one, the entirety of the shoe has Lightstrike Pro.
Oh,
This is going to be a highly energetic, lightweight daily trainer. They're adding a lot more Lightstrike Pro in the midsole here. So instead of being that puck up at the forefoot, they're making this more of like a Hoka Mach 5, where it's a true dual foam midsole shoe. Now this one is going to be coming out in early 2024, I believe. I have to get confirmation on that. I believe it's either late winter or early spring 2024. Now the next shoe that I did not highlight in my video yesterday that I'm super excited about from Adidas is the Takumi Sen 10. I did do a preview of this last week with some of those leaked pictures, but at TRE I got to go hands-on with the shoe in person.
and tell me about what we're seeing in the Takumi Sen 10 here. It looks like minimal changes from the 9, is that right?
That is correct. The biggest differences come in the outsole kind of configuration though. A little more contact rubber up here on the forefoot, the medial part of the shoe. I want the shoe to be a true like 10K, 5K racing shoe in all conditions.
Yeah.
So a little bit extra traction, whether it be slick roads or what have you. The difference I can't say is going to be like I'll use some more carbon energy rods now. Adds a little more rigidity to it.
And it looks very similar to the Takumi Sen 9. It's retaining that same exact ethos of it. The major change here is they've added a lot more of that forefoot rubber around the outsides of the shoe, making it more of a true race day shoe. Because if you look at the Takumi Sen 8 and 9, they don't have a ton of that rubber on the lateral and medial sides of the shoe. So I think some of their elite athletes were slipping and sliding in the rain, not getting the best grip and traction with that last version of the shoe. They also made the switch from glass fiber energy rods in the Takumi Sen 8 and 9 to now now carbon fiber energy rods in the Takumi Sen 10, again, making this more of a viable racing option. So what I think Adidas is trying to do is make the Adizero SL2 more of that short distance workout shoe, because that's the way the Takumi Sen 8 is currently being used, and then shifting that Takumi Sen 10 into that fast racer for short distance category, because not a lot of runners are actually using this shoe to race in. They're using the Pro 3 or a Vaporfly. So with these changes, and with the SL2 becoming more of that super foam trainer, and with the Takumi Sen becoming more of that carbon fiber racer, we're gonna have two new competitive options in the Adidas lineup. Also from Adidas, we know about the Supernova Rise, but what I was interested to see is a shoe called the Supernova Workhorse. Now, this is very similar to the Supernova Rise, but it has a bit higher stack.
Feels a little bit more sturdy, a little more firm upon initial impact. Even though it is a little bit heavier and it has a lot more cushioning, it's actually a little bit of a faster fitting shoe. But yes,
Okay,
because
cool.
it really wants to kind of rebound and move forward.
Yeah. What's the weight on the men's version of this? Like,
I would say roughly around the 10.3 ounce weight.
Okay.
This is a shoe you do your easy miles in, everyday miles in, Supernova Rise solution, and then speed walk, anything in Adizero lineup.
So if you look at the Supernova Rise, like the daily trainer, the Supernova Workhorse is that, but amped up. So if you are a heavier runner, or if you need a true recovery running effort shoe, the Supernova Workhorse is going to be that one for you. Now, one of my main takeaways from the running event was that these brands are starting to have a lot of potential cannibalization with these offerings. So Adizero SL versus Supernova Rise, there is an overlap there where they're both daily trainers. And then Supernova Rise versus Supernova Workhorse, again, some overlap there between how you can use these shoes with those easy miles. I don't think it's an issue that we have so many great options on the market. It's just a case of helping everyone understand what these are for, which is why I went to TRE to get some FaceTime with these reps. And I think it's great that we're seeing enough demand, enough interest from runners that we can support having multiple training options in a brand's lineup.
Down the pipeline, behind that black coat in there, we got some very cool stuff.
All right guys, next up we have Altra. Now Altra showed me a few new models, but the one that I am most excited about is the Vanish Carbon 2.
We've added a bunch of things to it. I think they're going to be really impressive. First of all, we have a full-length carbon plate. Our last carbon shoe only had 3/4.
Yeah.
That's right. Definitely a little snappier. We've also added 3 millimeters of our Ego Pro midsole.
Okay,
so
cool.
that's 36 millimeters. We've also increased the flex grooves just at the toe point. So you're still going to get that responsive midsole with a little bit more flexibility in the toes. It makes it have that more Ultra-esque feel compared to other super shoes. 14% softer than our last one as well, but actually more responsive at the same time. This comes out in March.
March 2024?
At $260.
260.
So,
okay, that's competitive, right in line with the market. And what I love to see is how thick this outsole
yeah,
is.
it's a little more durable on the outsole. That's right.
Yeah, lots of durability, and especially up back here. I'm not going to mention any names, but Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 3, not very durable back here.
They're still using that supercritical TPEE, so they haven't moved to a PIVA foam like most of the major brands have, and they're still using that 0 millimeter drop. However, the main change here is they've gone up from a 33 millimeter stack height to a 36 millimeter stack height. That was one of the main complaints and main issues with the Vanish Carbon 1. It didn't have as aggressive, as bouncy, as much energy return type of feel as some of the other top tier marathon racing shoes on the market. So with this additional stack height in the Vanish Carbon 2, Altra will be getting a true marathon racing competitor. Alright guys, next up we have Brooks. Now from Brooks, I did see the new Hyperion and Hyperion Max 2. It looks like the next version of the Hyperion is going to retain more of the spirit of that current Hyperion Max. So that's going to be the lower stacked, more no frills type of shoe. I know you guys were concerned because some of you really liked that simple feeling of the Hyperion Max when I mentioned that the Hyperion Max 2 will be going up in stack height and getting that nylon plate. Some of you were afraid that we'd be losing that lower fast workout shoe in the Brooks lineup. However, the Hyperion Max 2 is going to be that Boston 12 killer, that endorphin speed 4 killer. It looks like a super competitive shoe that's now in line with all those other high mileage, fast training shoes on the market. And then the Hyperion 2 will take its place as that lower stacked workout shoe. Alright guys, next up here we have Craft. I did see 2 new exciting shoes from Craft. Now I was able to get a product walkthrough from David Laney, who is one of their ultra marathon runners. I will let you hear from the words of David Laney himself.
These ones are called the Pacer, kind of a very soft, fun, kind of slipper-like feel. And then this is the Endurance 2. So this one will be a little bit more of that snappier, lightweight trainer workout shoe. TPE foam for the midsole, so lightweight, bouncy thermoplastic. And then just kind of soft, lightweight uppers, and then just kind of road out.
Sweet. So this one is more of a long run shoe, more of a relaxed trainer, and that's a faster workout shoe?
130, and this one's 150.
Okay, when are these hitting the market?
Endurance 1 is currently out. We just did an upper update.
Okay.
And this will be out in March of 2024.
What's your favorite shoe in the lineup right now?
I think probably the Nordlight Ultra.
Yeah, I was obsessed with this one for a while.
Sweet. We call it kind of the Subaru Outback of shoes. So it's got that super critical foam midsole, really lightweight upper, and then kind of that door to trail gravel outsole.
Yeah.
So it lasts a long time. You get good traction on, gravel, road, snow, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, guys, next up we have Diadora. Now, Diadora has a super exciting fast shoe coming out. Now, this Diadora fast shoe will be coming off of embargo January 1st. What I can tell you now is that it was made in collaboration with a top tier Italian manufacturing firm that is also known to go very fast. There are gonna be some really interesting elements of speed in this one, and I was told it was lab tested to be faster than a lot of the fastest shoes out there, everything up until the most recent marathon record breaking shoe. So this is going to be a very exciting shoe. Price point is going to be probably a little bit higher than you're used to, but a super competitive shoe that I am excited to hopefully get on foot at the top of the year. All right, guys, next up here we have Hoka. Now, I did highlight the Mach 6 in my video yesterday. I want to apologize because I got some info about the midsole on that wrong. The Mach 6 is not going to be 100% PIVA like I said in that video. I apologize. Sorry, guys. Looks like it's going to be super critical EVA. The other shoe that I wanted to highlight today from Hoka is the Sky Flow. So this is going to be more of a runnable Bondi type of shoe. They made the shoe specifically for running specialty stores. They know a lot of recreational runners are interested in performance-oriented shoes, and the reputation of some of Hoka's taller stack shoes aren't that of speed, aren't that of really being legitimate running shoes, particularly the Bondi. So this is a shoe to replace the Bondi for runners who are logging moderate to high mileage, to be a max cushion shoe that's comfortable for running and can be that workhorse type of trainer. All right, guys, next up we have Mizuno. Now, I did see the Rebellion Flash 2, the Rebellion Pro 2, which are like the Endorphin Pro 3 and the Endorphin Speed 3. Those look like very competitive shoes, particularly the Rebellion Flash 2. This one underwent a huge overhaul and now has a dual foam midsole with a plastic plate in there. It looks almost like a Boston 12, a little bit softer feel underfoot than that Boston 12, but a very competitive shoe for high mileage training, lots of energy return in that midsole, and it was pretty light to hold. I wasn't able to run in the shoe, of course, but I did see it on the floor and it looked like a really awesome model. The most exciting shoe, however, is this new unnamed shoe. They're calling it their Super Trainer. You know I don't like to use that word on this channel, so let's call it the High Mileage Trainer. So the Mizuno High Mileage Trainer came in this cool zebra colorway. It's not going to be the production colorway, but that's their new aesthetic for all of their upcoming releases. So it's going to be illegal, and it has a plastic plate in there to provide some stability. Now, this was very light when I picked it up. I believe it was around 9 ounces, 45 millimeters heel, 37 millimeters in the forefoot for an 8 millimeter drop. The one disappointing fact I did learn about the shoe is, despite that awesome rocker, despite the cool sock-like upper it has, apparently this is going to be compression molded EVA in the midsole, which is not the most modern material, and Mizuno does have access to some better foams in their lineup. But hey, I'm not going to judge a shoe by its foam, I'm going to judge it by how it runs. But it is exciting to see Mizuno is moving forward, modernizing their lineup, and I was told by the really awesome brand rep there that that's their goal for 24, 25, and 26, is slowly introducing these changes to their lineups without making a drastic overhaul to alienate their core buyer, but slowly trickling out some new competitive options to the market, like they've done with the Wave Rebellion Pro, to bring along some new runners into their fold. So Mizuno is definitely a brand to watch out for in 2024 with this unnamed Super Trainer. And that one will be coming out in June 2024.